Hello and welcome to Untold History Channel. This will be the third part of my Roza Shanina diary extracts. I will leave links to the first two in the descriptions. Roza Shanina was a young Russian woman who joined the Red Army as a sniper in the Second World War. She was the best woman sniper of World War II, with 59 confirmed kills. I will now carry on reading to you the diary of Roza Shanina. November 14th, 19441. Captain Tishing. Captain Stepanenko-Vovka. Captain Blokin Pavel. Senior Sergeant Panarin Mishka. Senior Lieutenant Solomatin Nikolai. Senior Lieutenant Nikolai, Artillerist 184th Road, 97th Regiment, 1st Battalion. Major Arzmak. Lieutenant Ledison Vovka. Colonel Horopov. Captain Fedorov Nikolai. Senior Lieutenant Borovik. I realize that I have earned honor in the army, well, on the front, but spread out over the whole Soviet Union, when I have not done much. Just saying. Going to bed. A lot of guys are eager to see Roza Shanina. They seem, how to explain? They see me as a beauty, or a hero. I don't understand. Oh, and what happened today? At night went to the 277th ID. I met with Captain Lisha, handsome, but behaves like an idiot. Who does he think we are? Invited out by Archangel's guy, head cook. Gave me a light, asked if I am the sniper. Spent the night with Tosca, and left in the morning. Switched to 618th Regiment, settled in fine. The car was fixed, we were going with Kali to the 711th by Nikolai in the farmhouse, and all of a sudden ended up in a ditch. Spent the night by Nikolai, visited the pilot Yasha. I cannot stand him, disgusting, the things he would say, and I would rather have not spoken to him at all. Nikolai, he is madly in love with me, that's for sure, he wrote a letter and reaffirmed everything. Was then by Major Grunichev. Their group really likes me, educated, modest, but they have this one Vovka Ivanov son of a bitch, and the rest of the guys are darlings. In the evening, conversed about Stalin's report. Did not manage to get to Grunichev, but was invited. He invited the commander of the 711th Rifle Regiment, and whether or not expected, the chief of the staff and division colonel. Time was well spent, I was 3 sheets to the wind, but not too drunk to light a cigarette. It seems we are not what they expected. They were offended that I said some offensive things to them. In the morning the jalopy was fixed, and I was summoned by the junior platoon commander. Today I rely on Grunichev not to write anything to the guys in the 2nd Artillery Division. November 15th, 1944. Letter to Pyotr Molchanov. Do not go on the hunt now. Sitting without boots. Movement at the front. Our girlfriends were awarded. Yesterday we gave Sasha an honorary diploma of the Central Committee of Komsomol. November 18th, 1944. Mood is nasty, why? Was just now by Nikolai and spent the night, yet I'm still in a little bit of a bad mood. I met a boy in the artillery. Well, boy, likes me like crazy. Extremely handsome and shy, but, alas. Nikolai is close by. I remembered all of our relationship with Nikolai. I respect him very little, but respect all the same. The girls all like him, but this, I think, is only when they are comrades, and until he makes passes at them, although Sasha Ekimova might take him up on it. Lucky me. After all, I made friends with him so mechanically, not as I would wish. I remember the first day I met him on the offensive, when I ran to the front. Tall, dirty, mud, clay, long overcoat, like a true warrior. I respect him for his bravery, he is a Soviet soldier, but he doesn't shine in upbringing or education, simple guy, a gunner. I remember the first days spent with Nikolai. Why do I not have the courage to reject him? The circumstances, cold and muddy, I undressed. I needed help, he helped me, otherwise, in a word, it was ridiculous. And now he likes me a little bit, and the rest I force myself, drive in the idea that I respect him, and that I miss him when I have not seen him. Why did I drive in the thought that I love him? Because after Blokin I didn't think of anyone, and I could not, and would not be alone. I want a friend, what else? I now make friends with him, but I can't understand why. He doesn't have the character to live with style. All the treasures and presents, rags and garbage, and this he gives from the heart, suit, scarf, hat. He has no masculinity, wastes my time with picture postcards, like the other gunners, trying for my sympathy. This is not a man, a doormat. I love warriors. He fights well, but doesn't seem like a Russian warrior, like a little girl, and I hate that. Now with the girls, bored. Tomorrow a secret commission is coming with the artillery to monitor the girls' behavior, I know. Oh, this army life, they all think we're a bunch of prostitutes, and then are ashamed when they see these modest girls. And Nikolai proposed to me, to make it easier to live together, formally, that we should be married, in the documents. No, I don't think about marriage, even just in the documents, it would just make more gossip. What kind of recognition of love from Nikolai? I'm not capable of feeling that, for this man, falling at the feet of a girl, I might give him the pet name Doormat. I still don't understand, whether it's true, or he's a liar. Singing a song with the girls, I hate the soldier's suit, nowhere to rest, and we're called prostitute, without a bit of jest. And everyone crying, that's the mood here. Tomorrow artillery, where shall I go in the evening? And will I actually get there? So hard. Oh my God. On the front it was terrible, no success. Fritz wandering far away, shot badly. Today wrote down in the end something about Dear mother, although you are not bored with me, I'm bored and have nothing to do. As you would want. No, it kind of seems that I should commit suicide, this is my future, yes, no other way. Learned in a letter from Yashka that I only had 10 minutes, and that he had gossiped about me with Captain Asayev. No rest for him, even in the afterlife, that poor fellow. Yes, I received a certificate of merit from the Komsomol. Wrote a letter to a girl, a stranger, who, like me, is eager to be in the fire of war. I told her everything. Yesterday praised the guys in the 2 division, today I say, bastards, messing with someone else's mind. An unsent letter to Moshe. Greetings, Moshe. Sorry for calling you that, but I don't know your patronym. I decided to write when I accidentally learned about your letter to Claudia Ivanovna. You write that you are crazy in love with Claudia's husband. And she has a 5-year-old kid. You ask her forgiveness for letting such a thing happen, but that you are going to build a life with her husband. You justify yourself by writing that no one else will raise his child, which you are pregnant with, and that you did not know that N.A. had a wife and child. You write, what would I tell his child, when he asks where's Papa? But what answer will Claudia give her son, who already knows his father well, when after the war he asks, why did Papa not come home? Maybe you are seriously now in love with a soldier you met by accident on the road, but how can Claudia Ivanovna forget her beloved husband? Who am I? Like you, I came to the front. I'm a sniper. Recently I was in the rear. On the tracks, in the train, I was thanking the people who came to see my medals. But they told me all sorts of gossip. Why? Why do others look strangely at a girl in a tunic? For that you are to blame, Moshe. I could not find a place then, I can't calm down, and now I'm returning to the front. I often wonder how us military women will come back from the war. How will we be greeted? Possibly with suspicion, despite the fact that we risked our lives and many of us were killed in battles for the motherland. If that happens, I blame those who couldn't even fight off foreign husbands. Think that you will not be forgiven not only by Claudia Ivanovna, but by all of us. And there are many of us. That's everything I wanted to say. Roza Shanina. November 20th, 1944. So many invitations for yesterday evening. 1. Katyushniks, commander of the 711th, Trunichev, Scouts, 120th Battery, and many more, but I decided to reject all of them and go to Nikolai Fedorov for the evening, though I knew I would spend it all modestly, because it was on the front and nearly in the trenches. I sat until dark, and after dark went to Nikolai, going so as not to concern Lena, a rival from the medical battalion. Finally, reached the artillery and, as the saying goes, could not suddenly go against my heart. Now I am crazy about Nikolai Shevchenko, and explained it to Nikolai F. in a dugout under the whistle of bullets. Later I wrote him a letter, like, "But I am given to another and will never leave him." I wrote the guy something in my scrapbook, and Nikolai Shevchenko wrote, "No, I go through the misty fields for thee, my love." Oh, how he liked me, but NF had not yet left, while I had not yet gone for the evening to Ensha. Ensha came to see me, and started shooting like a duel. I later reconciled with NF. In the morning came home, and said a few words over my dagger. Nobody can hurt my feelings. Mishka Panarin was my first, not only on the front, but the love of my life, and he died. I sit by the Major Artilleryman. He likes me as a person, modest, kind. And Nikolai Shevchenko, just a kid. He immediately fell madly in love with me, and suddenly the lieutenant, chief of artillery reconnaissance, was in a delirious dream. This so cruelly played on the nerves of these guys, Nikolai, and a certain other guy, that they followed me and nearly started a duel. And where? On the front. November 23, 1944. Oh, God, so much nonsense. Yesterday Sasha Ekimova was posted on watch with the handsome boys in Dovral's company, and, ashamed to be seen, left her post to use the bathroom in a ditch. Today yesterday, I went to give my report at the workshop, for her absence, and she was elsewhere. As with anything official, a lot of us were on her side and lied to cover for her, and we are good girls, and the guys wouldn't lie for us. I explained to Nikolai Shevchenko that I can't be with him, and he is with Sasha now, and he asked me not to screw around. I have done so. Let him go, happily, if he succeeds. Yes, how hard. Oh, God, I remember that day, when we were invited to join General Kazaryan in the evening. We were not at camp, and we were unfamiliar with where we were going. And one of our girls had been violated, which was not her fault. My life is broken, I am no longer a girl, her words. Even though she is loved, even though this was not her first, even though she fought off the attacks. Yes, and at the gates of my sanctuary there has been more than one enemy, but successfully repelled. Truthfully, this can happen to us. Yes, and we need to be afraid. Traveled to the airstrip, met and got the attention of Nikolai Borovic, who likes me terribly, as he now has explained. I don't know to what extent he is being sincere, but this is how it seems to me. He's not eloquent, and I don't like that. That trait is a must, but how fully it's developed is not a big deal. Yesterday evening visited the Katyushniks, drove for a bit, jumped out of the cab and ran away, crying for a long time. Passed 15 kilometers, out on the front, got lost, because of the pitch black, walked by feel and cried. Why? I do not like this life on the road, because we have to work on the front in wartime, and pay little attention to external things, and now. I cried all the way from my heart, because it was so hard for me. I am alone at night, only bullets whistling, fires burning. Came back, went to bed and slept from 11 at night until 2 p.m. the next day. Tonight wrote a letter, told Nikolai F. some things. Received a letter from Lukyanenko and some other tankers. I know all of them and they remember my mischievous laugh and singing the German stamped, darning their uniforms, and had seen my photo in the Crocodile magazine, but I have not seen it. My pictures from newspapers and magazines are tacked up in the guy's bunk, or hung on the walls. It seems more respect me than hate me. And those who hate, because I won't give them what they want or they're rude, or jealous. Oh, how filthy and rude Yashka Gudkov was, when he visited. It seems I'll be leaving in another division. Thank you for watching to the very end, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you could please give it a thumbs up and could subscribe, it would be much appreciated, and would help